On both of my channels, you can find reference to the Great Purge of 2022 and other years on YouTube. These are times of the year when YouTube decides to get rid of any non-productive accounts they can't make money off of, but they come up with excuses. In 2022, like many years, they had a transparency report where they put up information, and I'm going to deliberately quote a really poorly assessed page as an example of how reporting worked back then and currently. Of almost 6 million total channels purged in 2022, 92% were for misleading and scam and spam accusations. 3.3% were for explicit content. 2% were concerning child safety, something gate. 1% were harassment and cyberbullying, but that's with 1% being calculated variously as 58,209 or 210 or 57,609. Because math is hard. Simply putting up the list of the number of channels wasn't done. They chose to use percentages, and they also used pie charts or donut charts, which are notoriously useless because every percentage around it is 3.6 degrees or something. Is that how it works? So let's talk about the total videos removed. Coincidentally, the numbers seem to add up because they didn't give the total number in a couple of places as 5.4 million videos. Okay, now if we use that, they brought up the number sometimes or the percentage sometimes, and this is my best derivation with 1% needing to be 54,348 or 55,555 exactly. We call that a suspicious number in statistics. But let's move on. 36% were child safety video problems. 18.4% contained violent or graphic content. 11.4% were considered harmful or dangerous in some way. 10% were cyberbullying. And 3.9% were misleading, scam, or spam. The donut chart includes all sorts of other things that are given the same amount of surface area graphically, but aren't mentioned in many of the blogs because people present information that support whatever it is they're trying to push that week. I got this from a blog from somebody who was essentially a medical dental expert, a dental surgeon or maxillofacial surgeon who posted this. They all refuse to link back to where they got it from, which is transparencyreport.google.com/YouTube-policy/removals. And if you look it up on archive.org for this year backwards, it should show you these policy reports and transparency reports. Also, one of them has a blog on Atlas VPN, which got erased later and is now redirecting to a sales page. And another one, Statistia. Number removed video channels worldwide to YouTube. And another one, world record, 5.8 million channels. In 2025, it was 12 million. In 2021, it was 4.8 million. It just kept getting more because there's more channels. Now, I want to point out something significant. The top offending channels, 92%, might just well be all of them. In fact, if you just did that, that would be more than enough and would be a single subject you would do it over. Scams, spam, misleading content, and behavior. That's important. But the number of videos for that purpose was 4%, which meant they would have like a channel with a negative number or somehow inverse ratio of videos, or they were channels that were using the comment section to promote spam, scams, and links to things. That makes more sense, and that's 2022. And if you're around then, that makes a lot of sense. They would put in stuff that you would have to go search. They would do drive-by commentary. They were promoting, this is sales and scams and crap. Basically spam, meaning not necessarily legal content, but definitely unsolicited content. Scams, criminal activities. and misleading information, posting false information in text form. So these channels were killed off not because they had video content. These were killed off because they posted something that met the AI algorithm's definition of something that was banned words. Yeah, I said it. I got a threat for making a favorites list that they didn't like once, okay? They will, I'm over 55, it's clear and obvious, but they won't just tell their AI, analyze all his videos where he shows his face and see if it's a human. Okay, it is. How old is he? Oh, he's over 40. Okay, he's not under 20, so we don't have to bother him about verifying his account. That would be immediate, explicit, done, dusted, and it would eliminate their need at all to waste any money on me. No, they'd rather make sure that I talk to an AI and give up my biometric data willingly so they can reuse it later to make a bot like this. Maybe you'll see this as your avatar talking to you when you're trying to get your help file. Anyway, that's it. Number one, liars and damn liars and statisticians, because the percentages don't make sense. They're generally accurate. Again, if you do the math a certain way or just make a mistake or round things off, this makes some sense. But again, the majority of channels deleted were for their behavior, most likely in the comment section, and maybe their behavior that YouTube and Google is misinterpreting. And the majority of videos removed, 36%, were child safety violation. You know, something gate, all the different gates. And below that was violent or graphic content, harmful or dangerous acts in a video, cyberbullying, and then way down at 4% was misleading, scam, and spam. Almost a golden era compared to all the AI slop, right? Anyway, I will leave links to the archive.org linking for it. Look up the one for each year and make your own graph and pie chart or whatever you want to do. Stop making pie charts and donut charts and actually look up what this is. And it's how we interpret the information that makes it more useful than anything else. Not what they tell us to think of it, but what we know. And again, I've been flagged on my channel for every single thing you can come up with here and more. And it never was valid, except in one video where I described the proper procedure, I'll say it out loud, for neutralizing ammunition, how to take it apart. You take it to an ammo reloader and let them do it for you. Don't do it yourself unless you know what you're doing. Otherwise, learn how to do the subject from one, and then you do it. But if you need to do it now, just ask the police to take your ammunition if it's bad. You know, that got me flagged for endangerment of children. Why? I don't know. Maybe because YouTube and Google needed an excuse complaint to flag me for, which is what it looked like. And again, this is all part of YouTube Purge 2022, where I was redacted, expunged, and deleted, like everybody else. And yeah, that's why a lot of my videos actually have that. If you look up on my channel the word redacted or expunged or deleted, you'll find a bunch of videos where the title and description are gone so that they won't flag them for innocuous subject matter, because they were on a tear and flagging people for shit they weren't guilty of. And everybody knows it. No one on YouTube and no one in social media believes Google when they say we're innocent. They never are. They're guilty of whatever they're charged with. But it is interesting, again, the scamming and spamming was done by channels, but they didn't use videos to do it. It's not the videos. It's the behavior of the user. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You'll need it. Bye.